thought the crowd set the tone today. There's no question when we came out to see that sea of green and to hear the excitement, to feel the electricity. What a phenomenal atmosphere for a game. I mean, I thought the roof might come off. The crowd was so loud at times, and they really, really got us off to a great start. So our thanks to the crowd for getting that game going.
Start with questions for the student athletes.
For both of you, can you talk about what was the key to getting off to such a quick start?
Transition, being able to rebound and push, and I think we did that really well.
I know, our whole team just felt so ready. As soon as that tip-off went, we were just full steam ahead, and I think just that momentum and being able to rebound, like Jewell said, and get in transition really got us going at the beginning.
Natalie, when you get ahead 14-0 in 3.5 minutes, how do you avoid, this kind of thinking this is over?
I mean, every team's going to fight back, no matter who you're playing, and they did a great job of that today. And I think it's just focusing on getting our defensive stops. We got a drill in practice. It's just 4 stops, and I think that's what we focus on. It's just focusing on the next 2 minutes on how we're going to get stops and how we're going to continue that momentum.
Other questions for the student athletes?
Corella, South Bend Tribune. Natalie, the Oklahoma State coach said that coach must have you guys do a lot of conditioning drills, the way the bigs run the court. You're like thoroughbreds. Can you talk a little bit about the conditioning drills that you guys do to be in that kind of shape?
I mean, when you have guards like Jewell, Loyd, McGraw, like Lindsay Allen, people that can get up the floor, I mean, as opposed to if you don't keep up, you're going to be left behind. So I think it's just focusing on how to play in the gaps and how to get up the court. Half the time I was open just because they were so focused on Kayla dribbling up the court and Jewell coming for the alley-oop on the other side that I just slipped in the middle.
You do a lot of conditioning for...
We do a good job of balancing conditioning in our practices. I don't think we don't sit on the court and just run, but it's a lot of mixed into the drills that we do. We do a lot of transition drills, and that's just Notre Dame basketball. That's how we play.
For both you players, the only number in the stats that really looks out of whack is the points in the paint, the way they outscored you 42-34. Mm-hmm. How are they able to have so much success in the paint?
I think we outscored them in the paint. So, that's a good one.
April Fools.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was like,
oops.
They score 34 points in the paint.
I know sometimes I was defensively out of position. I was focusing on helping my teammates a little bit too much and getting sealed. And then as well as they got a couple possessions where they got 2 shots off some offensive rebounds. So just little lapses. I mean, we didn't play a perfect game, but I think we took care of shutting down some of their main players.
Natalie, can you talk about that behind the back pass to Madison?
After the defense adjusted and started to kind of like focus on me running down the floor a little bit, I think especially Madison Cable, Jewell does a great job as well on just continuing to cut. And it was just easy to find her when everyone's so hawking and staring at you that she just made a great cut and was really open in the paint and did a great job of finishing.
Jewell, over here. You've been playing a lot of the other team's best offensive players. It's likely you're going to spend a lot of Monday night driving yourself crazy covering Odyssey Sims. What challenges does that present particularly for you?
just making sure I contain the ball and just really knowing personnel. I'll probably study some film with my position coach later and making sure I know her tendencies are, and I'm 100% sure that our team defense will be with me on Monday night.
Natalie, this one's for you. Just your initial thought right now on playing Baylor with the history you guys have had with them the past couple seasons.
I think we're really excited to get a chance to play them again, especially on our home court. I know we'll have the same fan support that we had today, and I think our team's just really excited to play another game at home and continue on in the tournament.
Anything else?
Natalie, can you just talk about in the first half, 15 points, I think, for the exact stats, 4 assists, blocks. What was going right for you? What was it? Something that you were doing, they were doing? What was happening?
I mean, when you have great scorers and great players like Jewell, Loyd, McBride, I mean, you have some of the best players in the country on your team. The defense focuses on them a little bit more. And the ability that they have to pass the ball and to share the ball is why we're so successful. I think I just happened to be open in the middle a couple times, and they did a great job of finding me. Just trying to give the team energy and make sure that I'm contributing in any way I can. So when they're focusing on the other players, it's just easy for me to get a bucket down the middle.
Anything else for the student athletes? One more.
I just want you to describe the last time you did lose was in 2012 against Baylor, having the opportunity to, you know, they may be trying to be the upset underdog, doing that, knocking you guys off right now. What does that feel for you, Natalie?
I think we're just trying to focus on how we're going to play. I mean, they have a great leader, great player in Odyssey Sims. I know that's a key for anybody that's about to play Baylor, but I think for us it's just focusing on how to stay true to Notre Dame basketball, working on how we're going to defend as a team and making sure we're our rotations well, so when Jewell's guarding their best player that we're there and help. And I think it's just focusing on us and how we're going to have that energy to make sure that we're protecting our home court.
Okay, thanks, ladies. Questions for Coach McGraw?
Muffet, are they obviously without Griner, it's a very different team, but are they a more difficult team in many ways with Odyssey off of the point and where she can maybe use a lot of her other skills? I mean, scoring 28 points a game.
Yeah, she's a tough matchup no matter where she is on the floor. And I think their team's gotten a lot better throughout the year. I think in the beginning of the year it was all Odyssey, waiting for the freshmen to come along. And they've come along. I think she's done a really good job leading them and getting them to improve throughout the year. So this is a much different team than they were in the beginning of the season. And I think you have to credit Odyssey's leadership for that.
Could you talk about the start that Natalie got off the first half? What do you think the key was there?
You know, she was running the floor, scoring in transition. We were finding her inside off the pick and roll. Just a fabulous game. I mean, she got us off to a great start. She got a lot of offensive rebounds early, and I think she just looked so determined. She was demanding the ball. We were willing to give it to her, and I thought the guards were really unselfish in the beginning of the game, trying to get inside. That was part of the game plan, was to try to go inside, and I was happy to see that we were able to do that.
Sean Giggy, KWTX, Waco, Texas. Coach, as you said, Baylor has grown a lot this year. I'm not sure if you were able to watch part of the game earlier in the locker room or anything, but just based on maybe what you might have seen earlier, what you've seen recently from them, do you think this might be, and the way they've grown up, do you think this might be the toughest game that you've faced yet, the toughest team?
You know, we've played so many good teams in the ACC. It's hard to pick one. They've got a lot of weapons. They've got some great inside players. I think Nina Davis is one of the best freshmen in the country. She's had a fantastic year, and certainly Odyssey Sims up for all the National Player of the Year awards. I mean, she's a phenomenal player too. We've played a lot of good players, and I think it's great that we are able to look at the ACC and say we've got to guard her like we guarded this girl, you know, at Duke, or this girl at Maryland, or whatever, because there's so many good players. So I think playing in that league has really prepared us for anything we face in the NCAA tournament.
Did you talk about Jewell Loyd's rebounding prowess today? 12 boards, 10 defensive. She went right up there against their big people and went after it.
She really did right from the get-go. I was really happy to see that defensively. She was really looking to get on the boards and start the break and get us going in transition, and she is such a good rebounder. You know, we are never surprised when she gets a double-double. We think she's capable of that every day.
Coach, you jumped out to a 15-point lead today, and then the OSU really held you to that lead for basically the rest of the game. So what adjustments did they make that kept you from stretching the lead a little bit further and really just putting a stop to the game right there?
Well, we knew they were going to score. You know, we didn't think we were going to shut them out. They have a really good player in Tiffany Bias. She is really hard to guard. She's so fast. I thought early on the crowd maybe got to them a little bit because they missed some easy shots that they normally would make. So I think once Tiffany got off and made a couple of shots, I think that relaxed the rest of the team, and they really got into their sets a little bit better. So I think getting off to that big league was really key for us.
Anything else? Any other questions?
With the way Natalie protected the rim today, was there ever a point on the sideline when you thought to yourself, man, she's getting to a lot of balls?
Yeah, I really wanted to take her out, but I didn't want to. I wanted to rest her for a little bit, but when she was on the bench for those short minutes, I couldn't wait to get her back in because she was really controlling things inside. I thought when they went inside against her in the second half, maybe they were trying to get her in foul trouble to get her out of the game. And Jones really played very well. I mean, they were able to score inside on us pretty easily. But I thought Natalie really was really the best player on the floor, certainly in the first half.
Coach, why were you able to play so much better than you did Monday night? I mean, everything seemed like a grind on Monday night, and this one seemed to flow a lot better.
Yeah, I think there was a little thought of, we've got to get back home, and maybe we came out a little tight. I thought Natalie came out well, but then she got the 2 quick fouls. She was out for the rest of the half, and we lost our rhythm, I think, with the substitutions. So I think this game, we had the right people on the floor in the beginning of the game, and again, I think the comfort level of playing at home was good.
And after that big start, it seemed that it was hard to get the juice back. Just get everything just flowing again. How hard is it to find that juice and to get it going?
I thought our adrenaline was pumping at the beginning of the game, and we were tired. I think we were just spent because we were so hyped for the game, and after that first time out, I think there was a little bit of a letdown, and that's when you need the bench to really come in and be ready. And, Taya came in and got the 2 quick fouls. We had to go back with Ace, and I thought Madison Cable gave us some good minutes, but we needed a little more of a scoring punch off the bench at that time, and we didn't get it.
Coach, the Oklahoma State coach, talked about how this team might be even better than last year because you have so many different scoring threats. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think we've been a pretty good team so far. I think we do have a lot of scoring threats. We have a lot of versatility. I think we have a lot of people that can come in and have a big night. When you have 3 players that you count on every night, one of them's going to have a big night. And so I think that takes the pressure off the other 2. I think the fact that they enjoy playing together so much and their unselfishness has been kind of a trademark for us for the past few years. But, I think we knew when we lost Skylar that everybody was going to have to step up and do a little bit more. And, she's still sort of here, in spirit. I think she's kind of left us a legacy of that intensity and competitiveness. And, I think you see that in Kayla and Ace and Jewell and all the people that played with her. So I think, we're a good team. It remains to be seen if this is a team that's better than last year.
One last question from anybody?